welcome to a session of how to make records on your Edison phonograph. So this is like an early cutting wax recording session done on wax cylinder about the year 1901. First you have to have a good Edison machine that's tuned up and ready to go, and then you have to have blank, and you have to have a recording head, and it does help to have the instruction booklet that Mr. Edison provided. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to lift this lever here, releasing the end gate. The end gate swings, please swing it all the way out of the way so you don't make any chances you're going to scratch here. Secondly, you lift the blanks out. These are tapered, so they slide on the mandrel. Give it just a little push to snug it, close the end gate, and lock it down. Now, if you put it on backwards, it will shatter the cylinder because it's tapered only one way. So make sure you take it out and slide it on snug. If you hear repeating, then the cylinder is actually moving, so it needs to be a little snug. Now, you're set for playback, so you need to remove the playback head, which is labeled Model C. This is to play 2-minute recorded records. It has a round sapphire smooth ball that will travel in the same groove made by the Edison recorder. This clearly is marked recorder, and it has a cutter stylus. You insert that into the same spot. There is a notch at the top and a notch sticking out, so they line up. They must be flush. You tighten it down just thumb tight, and then you go ahead and put on your horn. This horn could be used as a recorder or a playback, as we will demonstrate. Horns originally ranged from 10 inches to about 250 feet, and we will not use a 250-foot one today. So you make sure your machine is wound. You'll feel it if it's pretty tight and it's ready to go. This will throw this all the way on, and this feed screw will allow the cylinder to perfectly groove the record. So the record is not doing the groove, the feed screw is. So you just will engage the feed screw by lowering this down onto the cylinder when you're ready to record. So if I was Mr. Edison and I was entertaining a group of important people, then I would announce the recording that was being made. Since there's no label on there, we would do that so that we know whose voice it was, and we'll demonstrate that later. So here we go. This is Thomas Edison speaking. Mr. Roosevelt, would you like to make a recording? Mr. Edison, I think your recording machine is bully. Just bully. And I think everyone should have one. Raising up on this lever will disengage the feed screw and will lift the recording head or needle off the record. Now you can temporarily turn it off. You will loosen the thumb screw again. You can see the shavings piling up, so I will blow that off and put that back. Now you can see the grooves cut into the wax. I will want to clear that of any excess, and you slide this back in, matching the notch again, making sure it's flush, and tightening the thumb screw. Now, this is very primitive. This is based on vibrations only, nothing really any fancier than that. So you get it right back. It will feed screw, will move it across even if you don't start it exactly right. It will move by itself.
Mr. Edison.
And there you have a primitive but yet very clear recording of the human voice on a 100-year-old plus wax cylinder. Now, the recording is usually introduced a little bit more. This was standard in the phonograph industry because originally these records were dubbed. Until they figured out how to press them and not leave a mold mark, then they would announce them. And the recording industry carried that until about 1908. So here's an original recording with an announcement. So that was a typical announcement. You would have said the date in a personal recording. So Mr. Edison might have dated it. He would have introduced who it was. He may have introduced where it was recorded. And that would have been very typical to document a recording. So this one is louder because it's a commercial one and it has been pressed in a mold. So that makes it a little louder than the home recording. Bigger horns can make bigger sounds. But for personal recordings, this is the way they would have done it. They can be played back again and again. Eventually home recordings could wear because they weren't as deep grooved and the pressing process wasn't used in these. So that's in essence how to make a record at home with the Edison phonograph.